Okay, so this is just a very quick recap of exercises to do in barre and tone, just so that I remember while I'm on maternity leave. So first song is always the warm-up, that never changes, and then in partway through warm-up, which is about the last minute of the song, I go into arm exercises. So I'll have everyone standing, arms up, we pulse down, we go side to side, we do the figure 8, we just kind of get the arms going. Then into second song is focus on just arms and arms only. So if you're sitting, you can take your weights and come down and up for 8 slow, then fast 8, and then you can either bring it in and super pulse for 8 or hold them up and lift for 8. So you do that about 3 times. Some other exercises you can do is take the arms, come up and down for 8, and then pulse for 8. You can take the arms back overhead and go up and down for 8, and then do that 3 times. You can bring the arms here and pulse. You can pulse down. You can pulse out. You can pulse up. There's a lot of options here. You can also come down and up. Those are some options too. If you're standing, you can take the arms and place them so your feet are flat, your legs are, they're soft bend to the knee, and you can take the front arm. So you're kind of like this if you're standing. You got the arm back and the arm front, so palm down here, palm up. You've got your weights and you pulse for 8, and then you swap sides and you pulse for 8. And you do that 3 times, and then you can take the weights back and pulse for 8. So that's a stand-up exercise you can do. Also, if you're standing, you guys can take the weights and you can do the same thing. So you can come up, you can come to the side. So that's song 2. Song 3 is when I like to do the push-ups and planks. So with push-ups and planks, if you're down, your hands are outside of the mat, and we do 8 push-ups, and then we hold a plank for about 10 seconds. We do that 3 times. You can tell someone that they can stand if they need to. And then we go into legs. So this is about song 4, and this is where in Reading I like to put the block down, and we lift and lower the glutes for 8, pulse up for 8, and then we open and close the legs for 8. So if you're on the block and you're down, you're coming up and down for 8, you pulse for 8, and then you open and close for 8. You do that 3 times. If you're in Woburn, because there's no block, you can take the ball and you can place it in between the thigh, and you can lift and lower for 8 and then pulse for 8. And then you can challenge them by taking the ball and you tell them to place it on the ground with your feet on the ball, and you do the same exercise, and except for safety purposes, you don't pulse, you just hold it, and you can take the arms up and hold it there. So that's some glute work. Some other glute work you can do, and I typically will do this either at this time or near the end, is when you take the ball, you place it behind, shoulder width apart, head down, you lift up for 8, and then you come up and you pulse for 8. You do that 3 times, and then you can open up the leg for 8, and then close in the leg for 8. You do that on both sides. So those are 2 2 glute exercises. Then the next part of the leg series is you'll be standing in a plie. You've got the ball, and you can use the ball or not use the ball. Feet are flat, you go down and halfway up for 8, you pulse for 8, do that 3 times. Then you can lift one heel up, down and up, then pulse for 8, 3 times. Go to the other side, heel up, down and up, pulse for 8. And then you can go flat on the feet and then lift the toe. So if you're in the position, so if you're here, so it's down and up, down and up, down and up. And then you can go both heels up, down and up. And then the other one is you can lift, lower, lift, keep doing that. Then you can also come straight up and down, straight up and down. That's one whole series. Another thing you can do is the foot in front. You come down halfway, you're squeezing that glute. Lift the front heel, down halfway, squeezing the glute. And then you can kind of do that a couple times. Another exercise you can do is you go in, take the foot way back, arms come out. You can 1, 2, 3, and then you slide in. Do that for a few, and then you can go down, 2, 3, and lift. That's another exercise. So those are 2 exercises there, and then another one that I like to do is the curtsy lunge. So you'll take the front foot, so you'll take the left foot, have a turnout, bring the right foot back, and you go down, and then you open up. So it'll look like this. If you're here, you go down, and you open. So you come down all the way, you open, you do that for 8, you come down, and you pulse for 8. So you do that 3 times or 2 times depending, and then you switch sides. And then you finish up with the pole exercise where you have the weight stick nearby. So you're holding and you lift up and lower. And this is where you tuck the knee in. You go down and squeeze, and then you pulse. So you do that, and then you go into core.